Hello and welcome to you all, and today we are going to learn about state design pattern. But before jumping into the details of the design pattern, let's try to understand a situation. Suppose you are having a vending machine, and this vending machine can have different states like it's ready to take order, it's processing the payment, or it's dispensing the item. Here each state represents the different behavior of the vending machine. So in these kind of situations where the different states of the object represent the different behavior of the application or the machine, you can use state design pattern to manage different states of your object. So state design pattern is the behavioral design pattern that helps you manage the state of your object that can change its behavior at runtime. Here state basically represents the set of the data or set of the value of the attributes of your object. If we talk about the components of the state design pattern, there are majorly three. Number one is context, number two is state protocol, and number three is concrete state. So context is the object whose state is to be managed, and state protocol is the blueprint that basically defines the behavior of the context object in each state, and the concrete state is the class that implements the state protocol and provides you the actual implementation of the state of the context object. And now you understand what are the major components of a state design pattern. Let's jump into the coding sample. For the demonstration purpose, we are taking here example of the music player, and music player can have three states basically. One is play, pause, and third one is stop. Now let's see how with the help of state design pattern we are managing this code snippet in our application. So the very first thing that you are able to see is state protocol basically, that is having three functions corresponding to the three different behavior of the music player. One is play, second is pause, and third is stop. Now in the second part you will be seeing the concrete implementation of the different states. So in our code snippet we are having three states. One is playing state, second is pause state, and third one is the stop state. So you can see that all the three states are basically conforming to the music player state protocol that is having three functions, and here each protocol is having the attribute, or you can say a property, that is named music player, that will have the reference of the music player object. This is the initializer that is common to all the concrete implementation of the states. You can see that, and in the implementation part of the functions play, pause, and stop, they are implemented on the basis of the respective state. For example, if we are defining the playing state, then if user play, or if user select the play option again at the time when the player is already playing, then there is a print statement that will print as already playing. But if user wish to pause the music player, then we will change state to the pause state. And similarly, if user press the stopped state or the stop button, then music player will be stopped and the music player state will be set to the stopped state. Similarly is the implementation of the pause state. If the player is already in the pause state and user press the pause button again, then there is a print statement that will say that player is already paused, and if user press the play button, then the state will be changed to the playing state. And similarly the implementation of stop is done. So our last concrete state is the stopped state, and that is implemented exactly same as we have done with the play and the pause state. So it is following music player state protocol. There is a property music player that will hold the reference of the music player object. There is the initializer, and there are three functions play, pause, and stop, and they are implemented exactly on the basis of the respective state of the music player. One thing here is to pay attention is we are using print statements, but in the actual implementation you would be seeing the implementation of any media player object or any third-party library to implement the actual player. But for the simplicity of the demonstration we are not jumping into that part, and that's why we are using only print statement to make our demonstration simple and easy to understand for now. You have implemented all the concrete states, and now it's time to implement the context object, that is the actual music player. So in the music player class we are having three properties. One is the playing state, another one is the pause state, and third one is the stop state. There is another property also of same music player state protocol type, that is the current state, that will represent the current state of your music player. In the initializer, we are creating the object of these three states, and at the line number of 90 we are setting the current state of music player, because music player is not started yet, so the initial state will be stopped state. There is a function change state that is responsible to change state of the music player and setting the new state. There are three other functions that is respective to play, pause and stop action on the music player, so that will call respective function play, pause and stop on the current state. And now you can see that whenever user is selecting the appropriate action, how easily we are able to manage the states of music player with the help of the concrete implementation of these three states, right? So if we see the output of this particular implementation, you will be able to see that first time when user is playing, the output is play, and when user is pausing, then the player is getting paused. On the stop, it is getting stopped, and when user is playing again, then it is again printing, starting to play the music. Then you can pause again, then you are resuming and stopping the music. So with the help of this particular state design pattern, how beautifully or how simply you are managing the different state of your player. I hope you like this quick session on the state design pattern. If you have any feedback, any comment, any suggestion, feel free to drop us in the comment box. For any other discussion, you can always drop me an email on my email ID, that is venugopaltiwari@gmail.com. I am signing off this session. Until our next video, stay motivated and keep learning with us. Thank you.